Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Get ready. Bitcoin may be going up 600% from its current level. That's not for me, but tonight there's some prominent people that have come out and have made some bold predictions about Bitcoin, about the cycle, about a lengthening cycle, and about the top. And many feel that Bitcoin is nowhere near top. So get ready. So let's discuss who thinks Bitcoin has a 600% upside from here, and also what's going on with some of these very, very, very hot crypto altcoins. Let's discuss. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, articles, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. I can't help but laugh. Look at some of the 600% comments in the live chat. You guys are too much. All right, let's get started. Well, Bitcoin is still doing good. 47.5, a little bit lower than the 48 something from this morning. But you know what? That's okay. Bitcoin, these days, slow and steady rise. That's what we want to see. I know there's a lot of talk about blow off top and 600% and here, all this stuff, that's been swirling around, been talked about. But slow and steady rise, there's nothing wrong with that. The slower it is, in fact, the better it is because there's less volatility. But then again, those of us that like volatility, that like to buy the dip, well, then I guess maybe that's not such a good thing. So it really depends on how you look at it. But Bitcoin is moving in the right direction. Obviously, this morning you saw a big jump right here. Are we going to see a big jump tomorrow to past 50,000? Maybe by the time we wake up, we'll see that. And while we're waiting, you got some good movers. Good movers indeed. The overall market cap of crypto keeps going up. You have some fantastic movers like Luna, which has really jumped. And I'm going to talk about Luna in a little bit. And I told you guys not to ever overlook Luna, or I should say Terra. I always say Luna, but it's really Terra. They just have been doing a lot of good things, executing a lot. Even on Yahoo Finance, I was asked about Luna, and I'm going to share some more about why Luna is going up. But, besides Luna, you have Solana that's still doing very well, and others that have jumped in today. There's just a lot of good news. Not only news, development, and adoption. That's the most important thing. And there is a lot. There's a lot out there. All right. So with that said, I originally said I was going to stream from my Lego room. And I have a very, very extensive Lego collection, but I decided not to stream from there. Some of you guys may not care about my Lego room. But one of these days, I'm going to surprise you guys. All right. So who is this person that predicted 600% from here? That's none other than Raoul Paul. Okay. Famous. I don't know about famous when he was at Goldman Sachs, but he was a Goldman Sachs guy, retired out of it, now 100% into Bitcoin and crypto. He's not a Bitcoin maxi. In fact, he loves Ethereum and loves some of these other altcoins. And this is what he tweeted. This is the total market cap. It is likely ready to move from 2 standard deviation oversold versus trend to overbought. That looks to me that the entire space can 3x into year end and 6x into next year. I think the cycle extends. There's been a lot of talk about lengthening cycle and how this cycle is going to be extended past 2021. Well, he was looking at an overall market cap right here. All right. And if you look at it, we're toward the bottom side. So can it move to 3x to where the red line is by the end of the year? I think that's very, very likely. That would put Bitcoin, between $130,000, $150,000. That's where, that's where a plan B also thinks Bitcoin is going to be. He predicted that by the end of December, Bitcoin will be above 135,000. So that's right around there. But most are starting to come out and say, no, that's not the end. Even though Bitcoin goes to 150,000, so what? That's not the end. There's no magical thing that says that the bull market has to stop by the end of 2021. It could continue to go. I mean, it could have a correction. Maybe in January there's a correction, maybe another 20-30% correction, but then we just continue up, right? And Raoul thinks that after this year end we can have another 3x. Meaning a 6x, where would that put it? That put Bitcoin like at somewhere like 4-5 billion in market cap, something like that. If you look at it this way. So no, actually this is the total market cap. I'm sorry, not Bitcoin. So that puts that puts the entire market cap much, much, much higher. Much higher. So can this happen? Sure it can. You know why it can happen? Because of global adoption and FOMO. Okay, so I know you can look at charts and metrics and indicators and fractal patterns all day long. But ultimately, why does Bitcoin go up? It's because there's more buyers than sellers. And these days, Bitcoin is getting scarce. More and more scarce because the demand is outstripping the supply. It's just that simple. And people are recognizing that gold is no longer a good store of value. So the big boys are coming in by the billions, by the trillions, and that is why Bitcoin has a real shot of doing a 3x, 6x within the next, I don't know, there's no time scale for this. It could be the next year. It could be the next 6 months. It doesn't have to be the next 3 months. It could be a year. Right? I do think that is in play. Doesn't mean it has to be next month. It doesn't mean it has to be next week or 2 months from now, but it is definitely moving in that direction. So as outrageous as that sounds, you know what? I would not discount Bitcoin. I would not discount it at all. All right, moving on. What else is there? Well, Willy Woo, also someone that is very renowned for his charts and metrics. And look at this. The last cycle, what will be this bull cycle top? IMO. There is no top. The past was made up of predictable walk of demand and supply governed by a simple Fourier halvening. Now, unpredictable walk of demand and supply from a complex ecosystem until we hit saturation. Interesting. So Willy Woo is saying not only do we not have to worry about a top, right? The 4-year cycle is also probably broken. And that because it's broken, it's just going to continue forward. Right? I mean, you can see what he tweeted here. Right? Let me zoom in here. So you could see 1, 2, 3. 3 was the last cycle from 2017. I should say the last cycle. And look at the current cycle. A lot of up and downs. Some people make correlation with 2013 versus now, but if you extrapolate it, a little bit different. But according to Willy Woo, this is what we're going to see. Because of the scarcity factor, global demand, everyone wanting a piece, FOMO, you add all that in there, you're just going to see it go up and up and up and up towards $1 million. So if you thought 600% sounded good, what about, $1 million per Bitcoin, right? Now, this could stretch into 2023, 2024, 2025. It could stretch all the way to 2030. It could stretch out even farther. But if you look at it, even if you go out to 2030, which is what Willy Woo is trying to project, that's only 9 years. That's not very long. From 48,000 to 1 million in 9 years. Who would not take that, right? No one on earth would miss out on that. So this could also be happening. So it's pretty good. Pretty good, guys. Pretty good. All right. So what else is there besides this? Well, Bitcoin's hash rate has astronomically recovered in a very, very short manner. Okay, so you could see that there was a big V because of China kicking out on the miners. And recently I've been showing you guys periodically how it's been coming up. But today, there was a huge, huge spike. Some miners, I don't know what happened, but the hash rate just jumped up. It's almost back to its previous high. That's how fast things have recovered. Only 5 months since China booted out like roughly 60% of the global hash rate for Bitcoin. It's almost back to where it was. So yeah, that's also very, 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 very nice. All right. Why did I say we're all Jordan Yahoo Finance? It wasn't appropriate. That's why. Maybe in the future, if I go on more, which they have asked me to, so I'll probably say it then. I don't know what Midas is, and I don't know what Rainy Corn is. Come on, guys, stop shilling some shit coins, okay? I'm not gonna take a look at them. All right, now moving on. What about Terra? Terra has been on fire, okay? It has been on fire quite some time. Look at it, 700% in the last 90 days, 14,000% within the last year, 14,000%. So, and you look at it across the board, 38 up 40%, 25% last 7 days, 17%. Why? Well, there's just a lot of things going on. It's not one. It's never any one thing. Okay, but Terra is a promising blockchain. It's a layer one. You know, these days I see a lot of people talk about L1s and L2. They're just fancy terms. L1 is just a network protocol. Just think about it. It's a foundational layer for dApps to live on. It's really that simple. Now, Terra, I've been talking about the Columbus 5 update for quite some time. They have implemented that. There's big changes, IBC communication, and tight integration with Solana, and they're giving back to the stakers, okay? A lot more rewards for staker, among many things. But ultimately, Terra is a level 1 network protocol, and it has a lot of DeFi dApps running on top, utilizing its stablecoin, the Terra USD. So that's why it's been doing very well, because there's a lot of people using it. So that's not what I want to show. This, if you look at a total value locked in, now it's approaching $10 billion. $10 billion. Okay? Here's the interesting thing about Terra USD. In order to get a Terra USD, you need to burn a Luna. So the more usage there is of Terra USD, the more Luna is going to be burned. But if you look at this, at the start of the year, January 2021, there was no TVL. It was like basically zero. And look at where it is now. And I've been telling you guys, hey, Terra's one of those promising chains that you don't want to skip out on, right? And it just kept going and going and going. And recently, look at this. Binance launches Terra staking. 25%? Over 25%. That's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. And also a big driver is Terra is now releasing NFTs. We know NFTs are big. Big, big, big. And starting to show up on Terra too. So all these things add together is why Terra is doing well. But even before the upgrade, I told you guys, upgrades coming, upgrades coming, upgrades coming. Even then, it has gone up quite a bit since like, what, 2 weeks ago? I mean, just a few weeks ago, it's probably up about 30 or 40%. And those of you guys that bought the dip, Luna was back down to like 30 something not too long ago. So they're definitely doing well. Can they continue going up? Yes. Terra, Avalanche, these two have all the momentum, same kind of momentum as Solana, and that is why they continue to go higher and higher and higher. Now, speaking of Solana, I saw this. You could see that it is trending under Business on Finance on Twitter. And what's trending? If you look at it, all NFTs. Like every single post is about NFT. Now, recently I did talk about how Solana got added to Grayscale, which is a bonus. But what's really driving Solana right now, I think, is NFTs, and there's just a ton of it. And if you look at this, okay, this is also a very telling story. This compares the liquidity, the TVL locked in by several big, network protocols. You have Avalanche, which is red, Phantom is in teal, Solana is in light blue, Terra in a dark blue, and Polygon. Interesting enough, Phantom and Polygon have both tapered out. They are considered layer 2s. They started out as a scaling solution for Ethereum. They have expanded beyond that. But recently, you could see that the reason why Avalanche, Terra, and Solana have all been gaining is because TVL is growing by leaps and bounds, which means people are jumping into the ecosystem, putting money into DeFi projects, and utilizing them, and NFT projects. Interesting statistic. Interesting... not statistics, I take it back. Interesting chart. Now, I'm a big fan of both Phantom and Polygon, and I think a lot of you guys are too. So I'm wondering what is going to turn Polygon, especially Polygon, around. They have so much traction. I don't know what exactly is going on, but I do think they definitely have the capability to turn it around. I mean, some of the biggest NFT marketplaces are launched on top of Polygon. Even OpenSea is cross-chain with Polygon. I mean, that alone should be huge. But they have their own NFT plays, and they have a lot of integrations. So I'm waiting for them to turn around. All right, so outside of that, that's pretty much it for today. I just want to remind you guys, since today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday, I will be releasing another Hodler's Herald, which is a bi-weekly newsletter for those of you guys that have missed all the latest news, article, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. And there is quite a bit. For example, if you want to learn what Avalanche is, or FTX, or Phantom, I just mentioned these. You want to learn more about them? Check them out. Also, all the latest news and guides. You want to know how to use MetaMask? You want to know how to use Crypto.com or FTX, or how to stake Cardano? Right? These are important things to know. So check out CryptosRUs.com and sign up here so you get notified of all the latest news, articles, and guides. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. John David said, Iran crypto mining ban has lifted. That's why we saw the sudden spike. I mean, I wouldn't discount it. I don't know how many Iranians were mining Bitcoin, right? But maybe it was a lot. That makes sense. That makes sense. Why you saw, where's this sudden spike? Could be. Will you go on Bloomberg or CNBC next? Hey, someone has a connection with CNBC. So they go ask, I think before, CNBC is very traditional. They would only bring on people that are, founders of companies, or like some kind of analyst, or some kind of hedge fund guy or VC guy. I don't know if they'll ever bring me on. Maybe Bloomberg. But I mean, I'm just enjoying myself. Whether or not I go on, doesn't matter. I have my show. I have you guys. So that's all I need. No, I'm not going to ask Rob to show Tomato Coin. That's just stupid. Ethereum 2 coming. Should I sell Ethereum mining rigs before 2? I already made my money back. Or you can mine Ethereum Classic instead, because I think most people will move their mining Ethereum Classic. That's just natural. My dog doesn't like Q&A very much. Sheeb to Robinhood this morning, this month. Okay. Okay. Get your latest Sheeb t-shirt from my shop. That's all I can say about that. Ethereum is still the leader in NFTs, that's for sure. Despite all these network protocols going up, I've been saying don't discount Ethereum. It's not going to go away anytime soon. Ethereum 2.0 is still coming. A lot of liquidity locked in, and there's just a lot of things that's still happening. So how high do you think Luna will reach by the end of the year compared to DOT? I don't know. DOT, I mean, Parachains is coming to DOT. That may turn things around for them because they have been very stagnant. But at this point in time, I do think that Luna and Avalanche can catch up to DOT and stay where they are and be like right under Solana. But I think Solana, if they catch their momentum again, they could continue up and be right where Binance Coin and Cardano is. I'm still waiting for Cardano to really take off. They had some great news recently, but they have not taken off. So it could mean that their turn is around the corner. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Thoughts on Digibyte's NFT metaverse for enterprises? See, as soon as you said NFT for enterprises, that doesn't appeal to me. NFTs for enterprise is very different than NFTs for retail players. Retail players is art, collectibles. That's where there's a lot of FOMO, a lot of money. You could say money laundering. I don't know, tax deduction. You know, you could argue that. But NFTs for enterprise is very different because you could use NFTs to track many things. Track supply chain, track whatever, you know, IP. So it sounds like that's what it's used for. So, but those things like VeChain had that for a while. But that doesn't really drive things upwards. Any quick brief on Telcoin? I haven't heard anything recently, Chris, about Telcoin. Jeff, thank you. Can we get Mike, the investor on DCA? Probably not. Rob likes to stick with 3, and James does too. So I've talked about bringing on guests, and they want to stick with 3. If I'm able to make it to Georgetown from Canada, whenever it happens, are you going to greet me at the door, or do I have to track you down like a big celebrity? Track me down like a big celebrity. I'll probably, with that attitude, I probably won't even let you in the door. We'll see. We'll see, Mike. We'll see. Or Milk. Is Probius PBX a good idea? NFT lending from Card Starter. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Is it a good idea? I don't know. Invest in DeFi, redefine your yield, cross-chain borrowing and lending protocol for NFTs. So you go stake your NFT to lend. I don't know. That just sounds iffy. The price of NFTs can shift vastly, and I don't think anyone has a good idea. You know, there's no universal index for NFTs like Live Coin Watch or Coin Market Cap, right? So I don't know. That sounds really iffy to me. I think the only appeal is it's going to be on Cardano. I'm thinking about replacing my AMP with something else. Where do you think AMP is going this year? I think AMP had its days. It had some good days. You know, there was a lot of things going on, and AMP got pumped up quite a bit. I mean, they were not in the billions before. They were like a few hundred million. They went up quite a bit. You can see over the last 1 year, almost 800%. But recently, they have been really stagnant. There's been a lot of payment coins, I guess payment projects that kind of stole its thunder a little bit. But I still like them. I don't think they'll go away anytime soon. And they are backed by Gemini, and they have Flexa, and Flexa is partnered up with many retailers, and in some ways with Shivo too, from El Salvador. So if you're too heavy into it, then maybe you should diversify. Should a long-term BTC holder store in a cold wallet or seek out interest on an exchange? I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, if you're going to hold long-term and you're going to just hold it, why not? Why not get some interest out of it, right? You know, some people argue, like Mike Saylor argues that he doesn't want to do that because there's tax implications and stuff like that. But, you know, for most people, I'd say if you're not going to do something with it, earning interest isn't so bad. What is the cheapest car you would drive and feel comfortable? Honestly, probably like a Honda Accord. If you get a base LX Honda Accord, it's about like $22,000 or something like that. Honda Accords are excellent cars. They're huge. They're very roomy, very comfortable. Has the looks. It's quiet. I really like Honda. People underestimate how good a Honda Accord is. I mean, it is really good. And if you get a fully loaded touring one, it blows away the TLX. This is why Acura can't sell the TLX, because the Honda Accord is better in every way. So that's the reality of it. That's why Acura has been struggling for so many years. So we'll see if the new Integra does well, because everything else has not been doing well with Acura. Do you think Chainlink will pump? Yeah. Chainlink is kind of like, slow and steady rise rather than pumps. Should I move my bet into no. I don't know, Mitt. You're going to have to decide for yourself. All right, last few questions. What's your opinion about using cryptos and money laundry? I'm a big crypto fan, by the way. I mean, are you asking because you want to launder money? Is that what you're asking? I don't know why you would ask that. Is it being done? Sure. Should you do it? No. I don't know the point of your question. I'm currently earning 20% with Kava token, but I never hear anything about it. Do you have an opinion about it? I mean, I would partner up with them for a while. They're just a promising DeFi ecosystem. They're built on Cosmos. They could have been a de facto DeFi marketplace on Cosmos, but they kind of chose to ignore that for some reason. I think they're an okay project. I mean, long-term viability, I think it's okay. They have also the hard protocol. Some of their interest is very, very high. And I've asked how they're able to do that, and they weren't ever really able to explain it. So if you're staking a lot in there, you should probably ask them to explain how they're able to offer such high APY. Other than BTC, what other altcoins to hold for the next 10 years? I say only BTC. If you're going to hold it, say you go buy it and you disappear for 10 years and you go check up on things, the only thing I would trust is BTC. Everything else, these network protocols, they could be replaced. But BTC will never be replaced. Send out prayer thoughts for my niece who just suffered third-degree burns all over. That sounds harsh. I wish her the best. I really do. I've never been seriously burned, but I can't imagine what that's like. Should I profit 50K out of my 300K? Should you? I don't know. That's a silly question to ask. Can you? Sure. If you do it right, and you're patient, and you don't overinvest, right? You're doing it right. You're holding long term. But if you're trying to, make that much with Shiba or Doge, you're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. How can I convince my dad, Dave Ramsey, to buy BTC? I would not be surprised Dave Ramsey owns some BTC. He could never say that on air because his audience are financial illiterate people, and he would never suggest for them to buy Bitcoin. So that's the thing. But he himself, he's a very, very, very wealthy man. And I'm sure he has a lot of investments, and I'm sure BTC is probably one of them. I still can't pull the trigger on NFT. I see the value, but can't quite do it. Same with me. I have not bought any NFTs yet. Every day I look at it, I'm like, I want to, but I just can't get myself to buy any right now. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll let you guys go. You know, overall, 600%. That's what Raoul Paul thinks. Okay, 3x by the end of the year, 6x into next year. And he's not the only one. Willy Woo thinks that this is what we're doing right now. Okay? You have a lot of up and downs, and break. We're going to be out of the 4-year cycle. It's going to continue on until Bitcoin has $1 million each. So think about it. If you just own one Bitcoin, you get yourself to get one Bitcoin, you could be a millionaire just from that one Bitcoin within the next 10 years. So think about that. Think about that. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, by the way, DCA tomorrow is on my channel, not James's. So it's going to be my usual time, 11:30 a.m. All right. So tomorrow, DCA with Rob and James on this channel. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.